morning. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Nadia Cavallin, and I'm the Herbarium Curator at Royal Botanical Gardens.
And what exactly is a herbarium? Is it a place that we store spices?
No, a herbarium is a natural history museum of plants. So think of it as a library, only instead of having books, we have plants that are pressed and dried. Do you want to see?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's open a cabinet. So in the cabinet, there are folders, and inside the folders, there are herbarium specimens. They're samples of plants that have been pressed, dried, mounted onto archival paper, and there's two parts to a herbarium specimen. There's the plant itself, and then there's the label with all of the information about the who, what, when, where, and sometimes why of when it was collected. So this one is sassafras. It was collected in 1961 in Cootes Paradise. And it was October, so you can see that in October 1961, the leaves were starting to lose their green. But they were still on the tree. This one is from August 14 in 1963 at Rock Chapel. And this specimen shows you the front of the leaf and the back of the leaf. The specimens also show you the different leaf shapes that are on sassafras. You have the leaf shape with no lobes, and the leaf shape with 2 lobes, and the leaf shape with 3 lobes, or simple leaves, mitten leaves, and dinosaur paw leaves. And this specimen was collected in spring when sassafras was blooming. It was the year 1964, and this specimen tells us that in that year, May 16th was when the sassafras were blooming. This is from behind McMaster University.
And what are herbariums able to tell us in regards to biodiversity and ecosystem changes over time?
So herbaria are the kind of plant documentation that we can have the highest confidence in. The plant is right there. There are situations in which we think there is one plant species, and then as our knowledge of the plant grows, we learn that it's actually 2 species. They just look very much alike. With a plant list, you can't find out what you actually had. With a herbarium specimen, you can consult the plant and you can identify the plant to what it actually is with your new knowledge. The specimens also contain the DNA of the plant, so they're useful to botanists and all kinds of scientists. Historians will come and use the information on the label of the plant, which, remember, it contains the when it was growing and where it was growing, so you can look at changes in, say, flowering time throughout the decades. And artists will use them for inspiration or as an accurate representation if they're doing botanical illustration. Teachers will use the specimens for teaching, and students will come and use them to help them learn plants.
That's amazing that there's so much history to be held in this herbarium, and that there's so many different people that are able to use this information, whether it's for science or just for inspiration. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the interesting changes in local plant biodiversity over the past several years.
Just recently, we took the information that's in our herbarium and in inventories, and we compared the plants that we have recorded here in the past 20 years to plants that have been found here in the past 70 years. And what we found is that in the past 20 years, there are 400 species missing from the plants that we have seen here in the past 70 years.
That is a lot of plants that we suddenly aren't seeing. That's absolutely incredible. I was wondering if you had any specific examples you could talk about.
Did you know there's a native subspecies and a non-native subspecies of Phragmites australis?
I did not. Can you tell us more? I usually hear about the invasive Phragmites.
I can, and I can show you specimens of the native one that once was in Hamilton.
Let's see them.
In this folder, we have the native subspecies of Phragmites, which is Phragmites australis subspecies americanus. This is the original label. It was collected in September 29, 1892. There are several other labels. These are just reflecting changes in name or other people looking at the specimen and agreeing with the identification. But this most recent one is from 2016, at which point we already knew about the two different subspecies, and it indicates that this is the native subspecies, subspecies americanus.
And do you have any examples of the non-native one?
Right here in this folder. And the non-native one is Phragmites australis, subspecies australis.
And this one's highly invasive, correct?
This one is highly invasive. This specimen was collected on August 7, 1954, and it was collected on Cootes Paradise Marsh.
You're able to tell the difference between the invasive Phragmites versus the native Phragmites.
With a herbarium specimen, you would have to put it under a microscope. But if you're in the field, the native Phragmites grows in small stands, whereas the non-native Phragmites, or the invasive one, will grow in very large stands.
That's what we see against our roadways usually, right?
That is exactly what you see along the highways.